Hello people, I'm back again. I've come back early because I just wanted to clear up a few things. Um, yeah, so where do I start really? It's just right, the biggest thing that's been bugging me really is something that's been on my mind is I think when I've used the term, I think in my NoFap signing out video, I talked about, I have had sex with women 7 times in the last year. And to some people it might sound like a desperate attempt to be maybe macho or this or that. It's not. This is what this video is here to describe. It's not. And in a sense, it can kind of take away from my first 3 videos, which don't get me wrong. I'm not, whether it takes away from it or not isn't really, I'm not really too fussed about that. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not really here to kind of impress people or kind of sell you a lie or a story or anything like that. I'm here to generally try and be real. But I can see how that I can see from an outsider's perspective how how I'm talking about NoFap in the beginning, and then on the last video it's kind of this arrogance. It's where like, yeah man, I've slept with like 7 girls and this and that. But that wasn't how I was trying to come across, and that's what this video is about. So the first thing I want to say to people is that in my first video I was describing in the first video, if you remember, I said to you, rather use the term masturbation, we're going to replace that with the term fornication. Okay, but the actual term fornication means means to masturbate, and it means sex before marriage. You are fornicating. You're a fornicator. You're having sex out of wedlock, and you're masturbating. That's what a fornicator is. Okay, so I myself was fornicating even though I wasn't masturbating, because I was having sex outside of marriage. That's what this video basically is about. Okay, it's really going to be a MGTOW video, really. That's what this video really was really about, and we're going to get into that. Another thing I want to clear up is marketplace value. In the MGTOW video I mentioned marketplace value. So what is this marketplace value? So a clear description of it really is more than just, oh, that woman she used to be an 8 but now she's a 6, now she's not as attractive. It's more than that. Marketplace value is if she's been married, if she has children, it can be all kinds of things really. It can, the reason why I didn't like the term is because the term reminded me of slaveries, when they were examining slaves before they were sold, and they opened up their mouth and checked their teeth, and they poked them, pinched and poked them to see whether they were kind of high valued and things like that. That's why I don't really like the term, but it is a term that's used in MGTOW. Okay. The third thing is, my explanation of MGTOW. When I was saying in my MGTOW video that MGTOW is men that strictly want to have a relationship from a distance, and if they don't, then they might take time out. They may kind of take more time before eventually moving in with this woman and having a relationship. That's not entirely true. MGTOW is men that do not wish to pursue a romantic relationship with women. They'll just have them from a distance, period. They no longer want a romantic relationship. That's the true meaning of MGTOW. Okay, so forget about what I was saying in that video. That's MGTOW. I don't think a MGTOW man is going to end up marrying a woman. That's the last thing they're going to do. So if I'm preaching those things, it's wrong. Then they most likely probably won't even end up having a relationship with one. That's real MGTOW. Okay, right. So let's get into the NoFap video. So now let's just explain a few things. Okay, so from my NoFap video 2, I was basically saying to you that 3 months into it, or 2 months into it, I became, well, to be honest with you, 2 weeks into it, I kind of became desperate. Since that woman was removed, that porn star was removed, that was seducing me and talking to me, since she was gone, I had to find something else. I was on the internet looking night and day. I'm looking night and day for potential relationships, and it seemed kind of awkward. Some of the things that the woman was saying in my eyes wasn't realistic. It almost came across like I had to lie. And one woman, I did say to her, like, almost, you want me to lie to you? I remember saying that to one woman, and she must have thought that I was some sort of like mentally insane or mentally ill, or the wrong kind of mental health. Basically, she thought I was some sort of nutcase. I wasn't a nutcase. I was just genuinely being real. Do you want me to lie to you? And that's how I felt at the time. But after about, I said to you that 2 months into it, or 2.5 months into it, so I'd already gone about 10 weeks anyway. 10 weeks with semen retention, no watching porn, that I did find a woman. Well, she contacted me. I didn't even contact her. By then, I already said to myself, you know what? I think I'll take a pass on this whole internet dating thing, and even kind of dating thing. Period. She contacted me. I told you what happened. But anyway, as I was still watching the NoFap videos, that's when I saw MGTOW, and I thought, what is this MGTOW? Guys were saying, you know, that's why I'm MGTOW. That's why I'm MGTOW. So every NoFap video I saw, there'd be one comment saying, that's why I'm MGTOW. That's why I'm MGTOW. So I'm thinking, what is this MGTOW thing? What is it? You know. Started watching a few of the videos, listening to what they're saying, and then I googled it, and MGTOW stood for men going their own way. A clear description. And I remember reading one of the comments in one of the videos, and one guy goes, that's why I turned gay. And I was like, this is funny, kind of thing. I ignored the comment, as everyone else did, but it was interesting when you're reading the comments and then all of a sudden you read something really weird, like, what the hell? That's why you turn gay? What are you talking about? MGTOW, let's just clear one thing up. MGTOW has nothing to do with men being gay. Nothing to do with it at all. Okay, which I will explain in the next video. Actually, I think I'm going to take time out to explain that in another video to some maybe trans people out there, to some gay people out there that believe that, you know, to anyone out there basically that believe that MGTOW has something to do with gay people, or that straight men could be attracted to possibly transsexuals or homosexuals and then suddenly call themselves straight. I'll clear that up in the next video. Anyway, so I saw that comment and it was like, what the hell? Anyway, 3 or 4 months later, I did start to see, or should I say a couple months later, I did start to see an old friend that I used to have, that friends with benefits basically. I used to have I did see an old friend of mine that we used to kind of have that relationship, that kind of you know, friends with benefits, and like once every, you know, maybe once every 7 weeks I may have had sex with her, you know, but I wasn't out there looking for a long-term relationship like I did for the last 30 something years. I was kind of done with that. And funny enough, even her, I sat down and said to her, listen, I'm MGTOW now. I'm MGTOW. I told her straight, I'm MGTOW, I'm NoFap, so you're not going to get whatever from me. So this is not going to happen. Either she accepted it or she didn't. Okay. 7 to 8 months into it, I came across a MGTOW video, and it seemed like a fairly attractive guy. Or should I say, he wasn't fairly attractive, he was actually quite attractive. He was quite an attractive guy. And if you remember from my my cold facts video where I was saying to women about the laws of attraction, right? So he was quite an attractive guy. I didn't click on his video because he was attractive, but then I can't say I didn't click on his video because he was attractive. It was a MGTOW video. I just wanted to hear what the guy had to say. So he's sitting down there and he's talking about his MGTOW experiences. I'm not going to put him on blast, because I'm not here to kind of I'm not one of those guys that's a complete sellout, really. I'm not going to use somebody else's video in order to boost up my kind of ratings or my videos. I'm not going to degrade someone in order to basically uplift myself. I think people that do that are sellouts. I think they're dirty. I think they're sleazy. If you're making your money off of degrading other people's videos, then, you know, I can go into all kinds of other words with what you are, but you're just a loser, basically. I'm not one of those guys. But anyway, without kind of giving away who the guy was, sat down there, listened to what he was saying, and it started off alright, you know. You listen to what the guy is saying, cool, calm demeanor, and he's talking about his hard experiences. But then he turns around and he says something that kind of, you know, kind of puts me on the back burner. He says, oh yeah, you know, us men, it's hard for us men, and we got to be careful of this, we got to be careful of that, you know. I'm a 6 out of 10, and when he said that, I was like, no, but you're not a 6 out of 10. He was like, yeah, I'm a 6 out of 10, and women, you know, respond this way to me, and I'm thinking, but that's not true. you're not a 6 out of 10. You know, you would roughly be about an 8 out of 10. So if women respond that way to you, the alarm bells are going off here. It can't be that many women that respond that way to you, or it has to be super hot models, because you're an 8 out of 10. And let me kind of clarify this with people, is that when you're an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, the rules of the game change. You don't really have to have that much of a personality. It's the laws of attraction. It's just how it is. It doesn't really make a difference what you say to a woman or how you even embarrass yourself around her. You're still in there, you know. Like I came across a girl that said, listen, when we're attracted to men, we're attracted to men regardless what they do. What they'd have to do something really drastic in order for us to think, oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot, I just can't stand him, piss off. It has to be really drastic in order for a woman to change her opinion. When you're an 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10, right, it's impossible. So basically what the guy was saying was lying. He was lying. And he was sitting down there and he was preaching to other MGTOW men that weren't maybe as attractive as him. And it just came across as sleazy. He ruined it by lying, basically. And I spent about 2 minutes scanning through the comments, and I saw other people had the same opinion. They were like, listen, dude, man, you're not ugly, dude. So how you struggle with women? How do you, dude? You need to have more confidence. And they were kind of buying into it, whereas I could see it for what it was. And that was, the guy was kind of, he was pretending, basically. He was kind of faking it, and these guys were kind of buying into it. They were buying into it. But I turned the video off after about 2 minutes of reading the comments. I was the only one that thought the guy was, you know, something fishy about this guy. Turned it off anyway. But then about, I would say about 3 to 4 months later, I clicked on another video and it was the same. Lo and behold, again, it's the same guy. Okay, this time now he's changed his tune. Yeah, he's changed his tune now. All of a sudden now, this time now, all looking suave. You know, he's sitting. I'm not gonna kind of do too much of a description on the video, but now all of a sudden he's kind of preaching something that's different. Now he's saying, oh, I've seen other videos out there, and these guys, these other MGTOW video guys, they're saying this and that about women. But you know what the reality of it is? They've never really, some of them have never really even had a woman. You know, who are they to be talking? You know, I think you at least got to be kind of, you know what I mean? I've experimented with many women. And then he starts going into the story of how he had a woman and he had side chicks. And instantly I said, you know what, this guy's a sellout. This is exactly what I thought he was in the first place, which is a bit of an agent, you know. Let me put it to you this way, guys, yeah? If you were to start lying to women, it's a hell of a lot more easier. Sure, it does catch up sometimes to you, but by the time it's caught up, you're banging a friend, basically. It's as simple as that. You're smashing a friend by the time it's caught up. So you're continuously moving on. That's how players are. So in my eyes, when men are lying, they're selling themselves out. It's, you know, so if you're an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, plus you're selling yourself out, and you're trying to compare yourself to someone that's less attractive than that and is trying to do things the honest way, you're not going to give me any advice. Let's put it that way. You know, I'm not going to take any advice from you, because if I'm at the time, I mean, in my 20s I was probably about a 7 out of 10, right? I attracted some nice looking women. I blew it from the time I was being honest, but my friends would say, look, you don't say that, and you don't say this, and you don't say that, you got to throw a couple of lies in. I don't believe in lying, right? So if I was to start lying, my life would have been a hell of a lot better. I try to get through it by being honest. That's how I've tried to deal with it. So this guy's here now, and he's just totally changed his tune. Now he's saying that, you know, but funny enough, what you were saying was right, that some guys out there that are talking about MGTOW have never really had many women, and now all of a sudden they're doing these MGTOW videos and they're saying to other men that they should kind of stay away from women. So it's like, think about it, do 1 + 1. It's kind of like, if you've never really had a woman, it comes across as being bitter. You're preaching to someone, oh, stay away from women, almost because you've never had a woman yourself. So it's like, because I suffer, I'm going to make all of these other, I'm going to convince all of these other guys, play devil's advocate, and convince all of these other guys to suffer. And that's the whole moral of this video. So when we go back into the beginning, and people ask, well, Luke, why are you encouraging people to kind of have sex with women or whatever? It's not so much that I'm encouraging you to have sex with women. I'm just saying to the guys out there that don't use it as a shield, do not use MGTOW as a shield, or do not use NoFap as a shield. If you have low confidence with women, stay away from them for the first 7 months until you get, until you've kind of rejuvenated yourself, but then get back out there. You don't necessarily have to be fornicating, having sex outside of marriage. But, just like a job interview or just like a job period, you should always be looking for something better. And you have to be in the game in order to kind of understand it. If you know what turn I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I will see you again. Peace.